Good evening and welcome to the Monday, February 23rd Maplewood City Council meeting. I want to thank all of our residents, our staff, our council members who came to the community conversation on February 10th. All of the people that attended, they shared their thoughts, their ideas, and we heard what people were saying. And I just want to report that we now have a list of resources on our city website in terms of different resources for people, for businesses that are struggling in this rather chaotic time that we are experiencing. We also, as a city, have joined with 21 other suburban cities, and the coalition is calling, we're calling ourselves the Coalition of Cities for Safe and Stable Communities. One of the things that has happened during these last few months is that there is a real city impact in terms of what kind of the response to the immigration enforcement that we saw in the metropolitan area. There was an impact on cities, everything from police overtime to what we are projecting will be lost building projects, and the impact on our local businesses. Another thing that we heard was a concern for the local businesses, and so on March 9th during our city manager workshop, we are going to be inviting businesses from Maplewood to come in and share kind of what they're experiencing, because what we're looking forward to is the economy, and what we're projecting is a rather bumpy road. And so we want to hear from our business community. That's going to be on March 9th at our workshop. And also, our faith leadership group is working on an interfaith event to support our community in a lot of unique ways that I think only the faith community can step in. So, in summary, the city listened. We're doing what we can in terms of supporting our community and trying to look ahead and recognize that we have had a pretty significant impact, and we are doing everything that we can in terms of trying to keep our city safe and to look forward to a stable future. So I want to thank the community because there were a lot of people there, and it was a very respectful conversation, which I think is necessary for all of us during some of these really challenging times that we're having. So thank you, community, for being there. Thank you, staff, for pulling that together. Thank you, council members, for coming and attending. And stay tuned because it's important that we have critical conversations and that we're able to work together as a community rather than be divided. So, everyone, let us start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and we'll get started with our business. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. City Clerk Sint, would you do the roll call for us?
Councilmember Villavicencio.
Here.
Councilmember Cave.
Here.
Councilmember Juniman.
Here.
Councilmember Lee.
Present.
Mayor Abrams.
I'm here as well. Thank you very much. Council members, is there a motion to approve our agenda for tonight?
So moved.
Second. Moved by Cave, seconded by Juniman. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Council members, we need to approve our minutes. First, we have the council workshop minutes for February 9th. Would someone like to make that motion?
I move approval.
Second.
Moved by Juniman, seconded by Lee, the motion to approve the city council workshop minutes for February 9th, 2026. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Next, we have our city council meeting minutes for February 9th. Would someone like to make that motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Lee, seconded by Juniman, the motion to approve the February 9th, 2026 City Council meeting minutes. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, that passes. Next, we have administrative presentations. Mr. Sable, this is your topic.
Thank you, Mayor and council members. Just a couple of forecasted items for our work session on March 9th. There will be a presentation by LSE, the architect who is doing some work at the community center and the YMCA. They will have a summary of their outreach and engagement plan, and including an assessment and potentially some initial drawings of what they are finding as a result of their work. So you'll see that on March 9th. We'll also have Habitat for Humanity talk about some scattered site development opportunities in the city of Maplewood. Added onto there, we also have the conversation around business impacts as a result of Operation Metro Surge. And then just as a result of our conversation earlier, we will have a street assessment rate discussion. So the workshop on the 9th will be robust, is the phrase of the day. Also want to invite the community and people to, on March 10th, the State of the City presentation will be at the Community Center at 9 o'clock. So look forward to seeing that. I know that the video production is going along well, and it will look great. And then on March 23rd, we will have the first look at the climate mitigation plan, and also then a closed session to discuss the city manager's performance review. I think the other thing I will forecast on March 23rd will be a discussion and potential vote of the Bronze Line locally preferred alternative route selection. Also will be at the meeting on March 23rd. So a busy March on its schedule. And with that, Mayor and council members, I'll stand for any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Sable? Seeing none, we have no council presentations tonight. Next, we have the acceptance of the K-9 and K-9 training donation and grant. Chief Beardeman, this is your topic.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. Maplewood Police Department has had a long-standing tradition of canines within our department, dating back to 1977, which was coincidentally the year I was born. So it goes back a little ways. And we've historically maintained 2 canines. If you can recall, back in November of 2025, in front of the council, Sergeant DeMulling retired his canine Ronin. Due to internal staffing and budgetary reasons, a new canine team was to be selected for school in the fall of 2026 at the earliest. Staff, in the meantime, has applied for a grant from the United States Police Canine Association, as well as the American Kennel Club Reunite Canine Program, and if approved, we would receive $7,500. We also have a valued partnership with the owner of McDonough Canine Training, who we partnered with since 2016 for our canine needs and training. He's agreed to donate as well $16,500 for a total of $24,000, which will cover the entire cost of the canine as well as the training. We currently remain fully staffed, and if approved, a new handler and canine will attend school this March through June, so coming up very shortly. So Madam Mayor and Council, you have before you a motion to accept these very generous donations in the total amount of $24,000, which will be used for the entire cost of the canine as well as the training.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you for staff for searching out these wonderful grants. It'll be great to have a second dog again. And council members, we all know that when we get a new dog, we have a fun council meeting because we get to, I guess we swear in the dog, don't we? Yeah, which is really kind of fun to do. But thank you for securing these grants. This is really great. Would someone like to make that motion?
I move to accept the donation of the K-9 and training for $16,500 from McDonough K-9 and the USPCA AKC Reunite K-9 grant funding of $7,500.
Second.
Moved by Juniman, seconded by Cave. The motion as written in our packet. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you very much. Next, we have our consent agenda. Council members, is there a motion?
I motion consent agenda items G1 through 8.
Second.
Cave, seconded by Juniman. The motion to approve consent agenda items G1 through 8. Is there any further discussion? And I believe we have, Mr. Sable, what would be the appropriate process because we have an amended item that has to go in, that was already posted?
Yeah, the agenda has been reposted, so it actually has met the statutory deadline for being included in the packet, so you don't have to make an amendment.
Okay, great. Then, council members, we all have the amended paperwork in front of us. Okay, so it's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Tonight, we have a public hearing concerning 2026 Maplewood Street improvements. Mr. Love, this is your item for discussion tonight.
Yes, Mayor and Council, good evening. As you mentioned, we're here tonight for the public hearing for the 2026 Maplewood Street Improvement Project. I am joined here by John Jarosh, our Assistant City Engineer, and Tyler Strong, our Project Engineer out in the audience. Following this item, both of them will be available out in the vestibule area out there for any questions that residents might have that don't get answered as part of this. So with that, I will turn it over to John.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Steve. Thank you, Mayor Council. As you said, we're here tonight for the public hearing for the 2026 Maplewood Street Improvements, City Project 2521. This project is broken up into two main project areas. So we have the Walter Beam area, shown on the top half of the map. Those streets highlighted in bold are included with the project, generally bounded by County Road D on the north and Highway 61 on the east. And then we have the County Road C area streets, which includes those streets along County Road C highlighted in bold, with Highway 61 on the west and White Bear Avenue on the east. We chose these streets for a number of reasons. Most obvious is the condition of the pavement out there. So these streets total just over 4.4 miles in length. They have an average pavement condition index rating of just 37 out of 100. So that's that scale from 0 to 100, with 100 being a brand new street, 0 being essentially nothing left. These streets average just a 37 out of 100, so pretty rough shape pavement. Different curb and gutter situations in the two areas. The County Road C area streets do not have any concrete curb and gutter currently in place to support the edge of the pavement or channelize the stormwater runoff. The Walter Beam area, as shown in the picture on the right, that does include concrete curb and gutter currently. Most of it's in good shape, but there are some areas that have heaved or sunk, cracked, that need to be replaced. There are a number of storm sewer deficiencies in both areas as well. The Walter Beam area, it's mainly just confined to a number of manholes, catch basins that have deteriorated over the years. With the County Road C area streets, we don't have a formal storm sewer system in that area, so drainage is currently managed by people's front yards, ditches, and boulevard areas. The sanitary sewer and water system in both areas are also in need of some minor repairs. So the Walter Beam area, those streets highlighted in green, those streets are scheduled for a pavement rehabilitation type project. The County Road C area streets are scheduled for a full street reconstruction. I'll go into a little more detail on what that includes here. So the Walter Beam area, those pavement rehab streets, what we're proposing to do there is a pavement reclamation, so grinding up the existing street pavement, mixing it with that aggregate base below to create that new solid road base. On top of that, we'd install 2 new layers of asphalt pavement, again doing that spot replacement of that deteriorated concrete curb and gutter. Making repairs to the storm sewer system, again that's just that handful of catch basins and manholes that need to be replaced. We'd upgrade all the sanitary sewer castings, so those manhole lids we see out in the street, upgrade those to the current standard. Those help prevent inflow of stormwater into that sanitary sewer system. Upgrades to the water main. The water main is the current standard material, but we want to make sure we're protecting that long term. So we're going to install those sacrificial anodes that we've talked about in the past. Those are essentially a bag of magnesium that's attached to the water main, and that bag of magnesium takes the corrosion instead of that water main pipe. So we're looking to prolong the life of that water main. And of course, restoring any driveways or boulevard areas that are disturbed with the project. Looking at the County Road C area streets that are slated for that full reconstruction. Whenever we're doing a full reconstruction project, we look to our guiding documents for design guidance. So we look to our living streets policy, and that helps us decide what road widths are needed on streets in a neighborhood like this, how those streets should be laid out, and also if there's a need for any sidewalks or trails, things like that in the neighborhood. So we use that to overall help guide that design. Again, full reconstruction of this neighborhood, so we're looking at fully replacing that road section. So removing and replacing the pavement, the subgrade soils underneath that, a new aggregate base, 2 new layers of asphalt pavement. And then we are proposing new concrete curb and gutter on both sides of the street. And the idea there is to, again, contain that stormwater runoff within the street, get it to the catch basins, down into the pipes, and then out into the water bodies where it's intended to go, instead of relying on front yards to manage the stormwater runoff. Concrete curb and gutter also helps support the edge of the pavement, as well as contain the vehicles and snow plows and things like that within the street section. Major upgrades to the storm sewer system in this area, again, go ahead.
We have a question, Councilmember Cave?
Hi, John. I just have a question. I know you guys work really great with the St. Paul Regional Water. For the County Road C project, they do a lot of lead pipe work, and it seems like it's an older community over there. Is there going to be, do you know if anything's going to be looked into, any lead pipes over there?
That's a great question, Councilmember. So we work with St. Paul Water closely, obviously, on these projects. I'm not aware of any lead pipes in this area.
Okay.
But we'll work with them, of course, to replace any that might be in the right of way.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yep.
Thank you, great question.
Sanitary sewer system upgrades as well. So again, replacing the outdated castings with the current standard. There are a number of spot repairs that are needed to the main line, as well as to some of the services out in the right of way. And then we are including some lining of the sanitary sewer system within the neighborhood, as well as other areas of Maplewood with the project. St. Paul Water is looking at replacing outdated hydrants and water valves in the neighborhood as well as protecting that main line with those sacrificial anode bags. And this neighborhood also has that modern ductile iron pipe for water main as well. So they're not looking at wholesale replacing it. And then, of course, restoring driveways and boulevards that are disturbed as part of the project. We've reached out to the residents in the area a number of ways. So we sent out a project kickoff letter back in July of last year just to really introduce the project to the neighborhoods, let them know we're looking at doing a project in their area in the near future. We sent out an informational packet last December that included a little more information, project location maps, some answers to the more frequently asked questions we receive on these projects, and then giving them that initial information on assessments. We held our first neighborhood meeting back in December of last year. Again, introduced the project to the neighborhood, the whole public improvement process, what improvements we're proposing, the assessments, and then more importantly, getting feedback from the neighborhood on issues they were seeing out there and things they would like to see improved as part of the project. We also released an online mapping tool called Input ID back in December of last year, and that's an online tool where residents can go right on a map, drop a pin right on the street or their property where they're having an issue, and then other residents can see that, they can comment on it, like it, and then we get to see that feedback and incorporate that into the design to the extent possible. We held a second neighborhood meeting last week to provide an update from that first neighborhood meeting to the residents, as well as answer any questions there might be leading up to tonight's public hearing. So some of the larger concerns or more frequent concerns that we heard at the neighborhood meeting, as well as on that Input ID tool, speeding on Beam Avenue and Walter Street was a common concern we heard. So we are looking at, as part of the project, trying to tighten up that corridor. There's some conflicting interests there, though, because they don't want to lose the on-street parking as well. There's a strong desire to keep the on-street parking. So what we're going to look at doing is narrowing up the lanes with the striping that's there. We're going to also look at doing some curb bump outs up by the Lake Links Trail crossing, where that crosses Walter Street, to neck that area down to create a shorter walking distance for pedestrians and bicyclists, but also to help make it feel tighter and hopefully slow people down. Stop sign compliance on Beam Avenue and Walter Street. That was at the Frank Street intersection and the Lydia intersection. A number of residents brought up concerns with compliance. Nobody's stopping at those intersections. So we partnered with one of our consultant engineers. They're taking a look at that. They're going to do a study to see what level of compliance we're receiving out there, and then give us some ideas on what are some options we could do to hopefully promote some better compliance at those intersections. So we're looking into that. More to come on that throughout the design. A bunch of general drainage concerns in the County Road C area, not surprising given that there's no storm sewer system out there and we're relying on people's front yards and ditches to manage our stormwater runoff. So the addition of the concrete curb and gutter, storm sewer system, we're pretty confident we can address most of those drainage issues. And then there was just a lot of general questions on road widths, what width the road's going to be compared to what it was today. So overall, this project is estimated to cost just shy of $11.9 million, be funded with the sources shown on the screen. So we're showing just about 50% of the project being funded through GO bonds as well as the Street Revitalization Fund. Just over $2.4 million going to those drainage improvements via the Environmental Utility Fund. Sanitary Sewer Fund covering about 6% of the project. Our partners over at St. Paul Regional Water funding about $890,000 for those water system upgrades. And then the assessments to the benefiting properties at just more than $1.9 million. And just for reference, between the two project areas, that Walter Beam area, the total assessment for that area is about $772,000. And then for the County C area, that's just over $1.175 million. So as we saw on that last slide, the assessments are just one of the funding sources the city uses on these to finance these public improvement projects. In Maplewood, each year our city council sets a maximum rate for assessments based on the type of improvement. So for those full reconstruction streets, there's one assessment rate that you set. For the pavement rehab, there's another assessment rate. And then during the design of the project, we hired an independent appraisal firm to determine what that actual benefit is that the properties are receiving from the project. And per state statutes, we cannot assess for more than those properties benefit from the project. So we set that maximum rate on early on just to give residents an idea of what that maximum rate might be that they might have to pay. And then we test that to make sure we're not over-assessing. So if the project does move forward, we look at holding that assessment hearing in September of the year. And leading up to that assessment hearing, the residents would be mailed their official statement of assessment that would tell them how much their assessment is, what options are available for paying that assessment, the ability to defer or delay when that assessment has to be paid, as well as their right to formally object to their assessment. And then just a note that we would hold another neighborhood meeting likely in August to discuss the assessments. Looking at the project schedule, council received the feasibility study back in January, ordered the public hearing at that meeting. We held that second neighborhood meeting last week on the 18th, answering questions leading up to tonight's public hearing. And again, our public hearing tonight is the opportunity for residents to directly address the council and voice their opinion on the project. After taking in that input, council will vote on whether or not to order the project. If we do move forward, we'd award a contract in the May timeframe. We'd hold a third neighborhood meeting in late May as well to bring residents up to speed on the construction process. Construction would happen from June to November of the year. And then again, we'd hold that assessment hearing in September. With that, staff is recommending that the City Council hold the public hearing tonight. After taking that public input into consideration, staff is recommending approval of the resolution ordering the improvements for the 2026 Maplewood Street improvements. And then just a note that 4 affirmative votes are required to pass this resolution tonight. And with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Jarosz. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Jarosz? I don't see any lights on, and so what I am going to do is I'm going to open up the public hearing in just a minute with my gavel. If there's anyone who would like to speak at the public hearing, please sign in the back. Pardon me, you already have it? Okay. Is everyone who wants to speak, have you signed up? Okay, there are a couple of people that would like to add their names. We want to make sure that we get your name spelled correctly for the record. And then once I open up the public hearing, you will have 3 minutes. Our city clerk will be timing. You've got 3 minutes. If you have any questions, staff will be writing those down. We'll be writing those down. You will have full 3 minutes. We will respond to any of the questions or any concerns that anyone has after the public hearing is closed. With that, I guess we're getting one more signed up. After I close the public hearing, Then we will have an opportunity for staff to answer any questions that were raised during the public hearing. And then after all the questions have been answered, then the council will discuss the project, and then the council will make a decision concerning motions that are included in our packet. Is everyone signed up? Great. Thank you very much. And with that, I'm going to open up the public hearing concerning the 2026 Maplewood Street Improvements City Project 25-21. The first name on the list is Jonathan Busing. Jonathan, do you want to come to the podium? And you will have 3 minutes. Thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you. I live at 1247 Coleman Avenue, near the Highway 61 end of Coleman. I was fortunate to have a phone conversation with Engineer Strong a while back, and I also did the online mapping, although when I tried to pin at my house, my pin wound up on the back lot of the Mercedes dealer. But anyway, generally, I favor the project, although I feel that sidewalks would be a little bit too much. But I do favor it because I grew up in the house I live in now, so I know a lot of the history of the street, and most of the pavement width has never had good base underneath it, and that's my main reason for supporting having the street redone. And I spoke to Engineer Strong about the history of that. The sanitary sewer was put in, I believe, in 1969. I might be a year off on that. But because the plan was that the city water would be the next year, they never put in a good base and did very minimal asphalt at the completion of the sanitary sewer. But the next year, when the city water went in, they only dug up about 6 or 7 feet on one side of the street, and under that had good base and some decent pavement. But they didn't do anything to the rest of the street. My memory on this was confirmed. A few years back, we had to have our sewer line replaced from the property line to the sewer main. And when they dug it up, I looked, and on our side of the street is where they had installed the water. And there was about 5 or 6 inches of the limestone class 5 base. And then about 6 or 7 feet out, the base just went to nothing before it got to the sewer main in the middle of the street. So I guess that's my general opinion. And I can't speak for the one section of Coleman that touches White Bear Avenue, but only for the area in our neighborhood. So I don't think I have any further comments.
Thank you, Mr. Busing. Next, we have Sven Mueller. Good evening and welcome.
Thanks for having me, and nice to meet you. So my name is Sven Müller. I live at 2998 Frank Street. That's right up where the Sunset Ridge Park is. And so I would like to mention my concern about the assessment of especially Frank Street. I feel we have a street which is in pretty nice condition. It has been resurfaced just recently. I think it's a year or two ago that most of that street was resurfaced. It doesn't have any potholes. Maybe some of you have driven on it recently. I drive on it every day. I walk on it many times during the week, during my lunch walk. And it is, in my opinion, in really good condition. So I don't know the details about the resurfing at that portion of the street. Maybe there's something going on which I'm not aware of. But yeah, the assessment is my biggest concern. So it's really my question, could a project like this be done with just the money which is available from taxpayer money without that additional assessment, especially on Frank Street? So the property taxes we are paying, they increased 72% over the last 8.5 years when we moved into that house. We are currently at over $8,000. So this increase is quite a bit of money. And it was mentioned that we pay 16% out of pocket, but the rest, the 84%, is coming from taxpayer money. So we already paid that, right, somehow. So we are paying state tax, we are paying a federal tax, we are paying tax when we fill up the truck or the cars. My wife, even for her Tesla, now pays tax for an electric vehicle tax. So there are a lot of taxes. And I feel it's hitting the limit for us. Obviously not financially. We can pay that amount which are being asked, the $3,500 or what the exact amount is, could be paid from us, but yeah, we feel it's a lot of money we're already paying, right? And we would rather use that money to pay our 2 children's college, put it into the college fund, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Laura and Tim. Are they here? Hello and welcome.
How you doing? It's been
Hi,
a
Tim.
while. She was my neighbor that lived up behind me and stuff. I live right on the corner of Frank and Beam. I'm right in the middle of it. I spend most of my day out in the driveway and, doing putzing in the yard and doing stuff like that. And the stop sign is the speed. If somebody wants to come on over and sit in my driveway, I have relatives that'll come over, friends that'll come over, and they'll go, "Oh my God, the people don't even stop for the stop sign. They don't make an effort at all." We had a neighbor that lived down the street. He was, I think, a NOCA police officer, and he used to call it "look at me, look at what I can do, look at me, I can, run the stop sign." When they put blinking lights up on top of the stop signs, that helped. You could see them from Highway 61. But what would it cost if we could see if we could get a grant to have blinking stop signs, just going from east to west on maybe both of them stops? If we're spending this kind of money to turn around and reclaim the streets and do all this work, why don't we make it a little bit safer? You've seen, Mary Lee, you've seen the traffic coming down that street when you used to go for your walks in the morning and stuff, how people drive in that neighborhood. I go absolutely apeshit. I walk right out in front of people, I don't care. I've had many altercations out in the middle of that street. And we have a really nice police officer, young brunette, that sits beside my house and writes out tickets like going out of style when she comes out there, when she's able to come out there. But, the street improvements, that is great. I'm glad they did an overlay on it last year and stuff. I don't hear every bus and car and stuff that rumbles down the street because it was pothole city. I even have a picture where I planted a tree in the middle of the street, in one of the potholes. So my big concern is the speed. And if you talk to anybody that lives on Frank Street, on Beam Avenue and Walter, they'll tell you speed. They don't even follow the lines. they just cut right straight through the middle of the neighborhood. So I would just appreciate if we could do something, maybe get some blinking stop signs. Anything would help, even to shorten up, even put stop lines. You know what stop lines are, where they put the white line? Can we get the stop lines? Half of the people stop. And then what pisses me off is when the school bus is there, people will pass the school bus after they pick the kids up. So, thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Next, we have Paul Arbuckle. Good evening and welcome.
Hi, Mayor, Council, staff. Give me the opportunity to speak. One question I had was for the warranty on that. What if something goes bad? How long is the warranty good for the pavement and curbs?
You know, what we'll do is we'll answer all the questions at the end of the,
Oh, okay.
you get your full 3 minutes.
Okay.
Don't want to
okay.
take them from you.
And the water line, they are cast iron because I was there when they put them in, so they are cast as far as I remember. They're not plastic or PVC, so. How thick is the blacktop going to be too? I guess the other question I didn't remember to ask. And then, is the information still online to do the reporting on the pins and that? Because I went on the survey thing and that wasn't online along, but the other thing's still there, so. I guess that's all I had. Other thing is, I'm looking forward to having a new street too, so I'm for it because I've lived there since I was born, and so it'd be nice to have curb and gutter to neaten up the edge of the yard and that, so I'm looking forward to it. Not the delays, but the completed job. Thanks.
Thanks, Paul. Next, we have Wade Foss. Good evening.
Hello. I live on Gem Street, which is part of the County Road C end, and they couldn't start soon enough. That's all I know. They were supposed to do it about 9 years ago, 9 years ago, and that got pushed aside, and I've been asking ever since when they were going to start, so my vote's yes. That's all I need to say.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else who would like to speak for the public hearing? Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Seeing no one, then I am going to close the public hearing. And this is an opportunity. There were a few questions. I made some notes, and I know, Mr. Jarosz, you keep really good notes as well. So I'm going to turn it over to you, and we'll just kind of go through the questions. Do you want to answer for the residents who had questions, please?
Of course. Let me know if I miss any. So the first gentleman brought up just a comment on sidewalks. He thought sidewalks are too much for this neighborhood. We are not proposing any sidewalks within that neighborhood. Just wanted to clarify that. The second gentleman thought the street was fine because it had recently been resurfaced. That was a skim patch that the city put on there just to buy us time so that we could get there for a full reconstruction or fully replace that pavement section. So that's just a thin layer of pavement that we put over a ton of potholes just to buy some time until we can get there and actually fix it. So it looks nice right now, but it's not going to last long. It's a Band-Aid. Let's see. Stop sign compliance and the speeding on Beam Avenue. Blinking stop signs, that is something we've considered and we will consider. The thing that residents need to remember with that is you're going to have a blinking stop sign out there constantly blinking. They don't just blink when a car comes up to it or something like that. So it's constantly blinking. So it can be kind of annoying. So we're going to look at that as an option. We're going to look at a number of options there. But the stop bars, that was a great idea as well. That's one thing we're going to look at as well. We're going to look at anything we can to just enhance, to draw people's attention to that's a stop condition. So more to come on that. The warranty period, the warranty that we get from the contractor is 1 year. After we accept the improvements. So we fully inspect the project, make sure it's built to our standards, and then we get a 1 year warranty after we accept that it is up to those standards. After that, how thick the blacktop is, it's 2 layers of pavement. The top layer is 1.5 inches, the bottom layer is 2 inches, so 3.5 inches total of pavement. That input ID site, the online site where you can put comments, I believe that's still up and running. Tyler, do you know? Yeah, it's still up and running. I didn't think we shut that down yet. So feel free to use that as well if you want to add some stuff on there, or you can always contact us, call us or email us and let us know what your concerns are out there. What did I miss? Do I have anything else?
Those are all the questions that I have.
Okay.
I did get, council members, I did get an email this afternoon from a resident for the Walter Street, the beam part of the project, and they were in favor of it as well. Deanna, I'm drawing a blank on her name, but she was in favor of it as well. Thank you for those questions, council members. Councilmember Lee, do you have a question?
Just a statement for this too. I had a conversation with a resident who earlier today, and on Edward Street, they were also in favor of doing the roads, but then they were curious to see if we can add some light to that cul-de-sac on Edward Street. It's a very dark one on dark evenings.
Thank you for that. Anyone else? Any questions or any comments for Mr. Jarosz? Okay, council members, if we've got all of the questions answered, does anyone have anything else they want to add? Otherwise, then we're going to go to considering the motion that's in front of us. Any other questions? Would someone like to make the motion then?
I move to approve the attached resolution ordering the improvement for the 2026 Maplewood Street Improvement City Project 25-21.
Second.
Moved by Juniman, seconded by Lee. The motion is written in our packet. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, then all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you very much. And we will get new roadway for our neighborhoods. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming. We really appreciate it. We're excited, too. It's going to be nice. Mr. Love?
Just want to remind everybody, both John and Tyler will be out in the vestibule area there, so if you do have any other questions, feel free to chat with them.
I'll get it.
We have pretty much almost cleared out the council chambers, understandably. And we have one topic left tonight. It is the Exxon RMS bundle contract. Lieutenant Steiner, you are going to be presenting to us tonight. Welcome.
Good evening. Mayor, council, city manager Sable, staff. This presentation outlines a rare and unique opportunity for the Maplewood Police Department to partner with the St. Paul Police Department and the Roseville Police Department on the development and implementation of a new records management system with Axon. This is a generational shift in technology in the Maplewood Police Department. This change will align our department in information sharing with St. Paul and Roseville Police, improve functionality in providing public safety, and drastically increase efficiency in report writing and records management. I'll go over the outline presentation quick. I'll explain the purpose of a records management system, outline current RMS challenges and impacts, present an opportunity to partner with the St. Paul and Roseville Police Departments, outline operational, security, and financial benefits, provide the Maplewood Police Department recommendation, and answer any questions and receive feedback. What is a records management system? It is the backbone of police operations. A records management system is a secure, centralized digital platform used to create, manage, track, and share all official police records. It serves as the single system of record for an agency, capturing and maintaining calls for service, incident reports, arrest, citations, evidence, and case documentation in a single unified environment. An RMS connects the full scope of daily police operations, supporting patrol, investigations, evidence unit, and supervisors within the same workflow. It ensures that information entered to the field flows seamlessly into investigative, case files, and supervisory review processes. The system manages the entire case lifecycle, from the initial call for service to reporting an arrest, evidence tracking, prosecution, support, and ultimately case court closure. Modern RMS platforms also enable secure information sharing with courts, prosecutors, and partner agencies, improving coordination and reducing duplication of effort. Overall, an RMS is critical to operational efficiency and accountability, ensuring data accuracy, regulatory compliance, auditability, and transparency in law enforcement activities. Strategic RMS change. Our current RMS is inefficient and unreliable, limiting operational effectiveness and creating workflow challenges. Through the Axon partnership with St. Paul and Roseville Police Departments, we have a rare cost savings opportunity for a mid-size agency to modernize our system while aligning with MPD and city strategic priorities. This investment strengthens public safety and emergency response, leverages technology to better manage public assets, supports and develops staff, and maintains strong financial health and stability. It also directly addresses operational efficiencies and long-standing employee feedback. Some key notes on this slide. Transitioning to Axon RMS will strategically align us with St. Paul and Roseville Police Departments, who are our largest Ramsey County neighboring agencies. We will be better able to share information and intelligence amongst these agencies. Criminal activity crosses jurisdictions. Information and intelligence sharing are imperative for public safety. Prior to our current RMS system, we were partnered with St. Paul Police Department for RMS. This enabled a much more robust exchange of information and intelligence with the largest law enforcement agency in Ramsey County.
Can I go back and ask a question?
Sure.
Our current RMS system is Central Square, correct?
Correct.
Okay. How, can you give us a summary when you say that it is inefficient and unreliable? How is this Axon system better than Central Square? What does that mean?
Madam Mayor, I can answer that now, or I have that in the presentation, so it's up to you.
Okay, I'll wait and we can circle back with it.
Okay, sounds good. Current challenges with our existing RMS. There it is. The current RMS presents significant operational and security challenges, including cybersecurity concerns, slow performance, and poor usability. Staff face redundant data entry, reporting inaccuracies, and non-functional online reporting system, leading to widespread frustration. Limited responsiveness from the current vendor and unpredictable future costs further increase risk and hinder our ability to operate efficiently and plan responsibly. We routinely receive complaints from our officers and sergeants regarding slow processing time with our current RMS system. Because of this, it reduces the amount of time patrol officers spend in the community patrolling and building relationships. It reduces the amount of in-person supervision and administrative task completion by our sergeants. It increases the amount of time for our records unit to route cases and process data requests. And it does not allow citizens to report crimes online. The 2025 Maplewood Police Department Staffing and Technology Study by the Center for Values-Based Initiatives emphasizes that the records management system is the lifeblood of a police division, connecting CAD, report writing, case management, and crime analysis mapping. The study underscores that an RMS must be actively managed and maintained, as it is foundationally critical, highly complex, and constantly evolving to meet operational, legal, and technological demands. I would like to note this investment is a generational shift in technology and a long-term commitment to public safety in Maplewood. As a high-performance organization, it is essential that we provide support, tools, resources, and technology for our staff to effectively perform their job. The opportunity. St. Paul Police and Roseville Police are partnering with Axon to build a new RMS and are extending the opportunity to Maplewood Police to access the same platform. The systems will be nearly identical, while Maplewood retains its own contract system and full control of its data. By partnering, Maplewood benefits from significant cost savings, along with stable, predictable pricing for long-term sustainability. St. Paul Police and Roseville Police are two of our closest and largest partners. Partnership, collaboration, and functional information intelligence sharing with these agencies are crucial in preventing and solving crime. Benefits of joining Axon with St. Paul and Roseville. This opportunity provides access to a modern, fully integrated Axon RMS, typically not offered to agencies with fewer than 100 officers. The system enhances transparency, accountability, and community trust while improving operational efficiency and staff effectiveness. It also delivers access to Axon's integrated ecosystem, significant cost savings, and a streamlined one-stop shop for support and service needs. The Maplewood Police Department has utilized Axon products for over 25 years. The police department first purchased the initial TASER model in the early 2000s from Axon. Since then, our department has utilized several additional pieces of technology from Axon, including body-worn cameras, squad cameras, digital evidence storage, and interview room video audio recording. The Maplewood Police Department has a long and successful partnership with Axon. Axon ecosystem advantages. The chart highlights how the Axon ecosystem connects tools, software, and strategic technology partners into a single, seamless public safety platform. It illustrates how officers are supported from the moment they respond in the field through evidence capture, secure data management, reporting, and ongoing training, all within an integrated environment. By linking devices, cloud infrastructure, and AI-powered workflows, the ecosystem reduces friction between systems, improves transparency, and enables agencies to operate more efficiently and collaboratively across the full public safety lifecycle. This chart highlights the scope of integrated technology within the platform, bringing together real-time intelligence, advanced AI-driven automation, immersive training capabilities, and centralized management tools. From live translation and transcription to performance auditing and streaming, the ecosystem enhances situational awareness, accountability, and operational efficiency. It also supports policy management, training, oversight, and future innovation, ensuring agencies remain equipped with evolving capabilities at no additional cost over the next decade. I'm going to highlight some of these for you. Draft 1, once body-worn cameras and squad camera recordings are downloaded, the integrated AI will draft officers' report in 5 minutes or less. Officers will be responsible for reviewing the draft report, adding context, making edits if needed before submission. This technology will significantly improve the efficiency of the report writing process, thus allowing our officers to spend more time in the community. Live translation. Currently, AI technology through the body-worn camera will perform two-way live translation for 57 different languages, eliminating the need for officers to contact an interpreter via the phone, which is our current operating procedure and oftentimes can be lengthy. Virtual reality training. Axon VR offers a vast amount of immersive training scenarios that prepare officers for real-world challenges in a safe, controlled environment. It helps users build confidence, critical thinking, de-escalation, communication, and tactical decision-making under stress without real-world risk. In Minnesota, 60 agencies are already participating in one of Axon's bundled plans, with over 250 agencies already using Axon body-worn cameras. Additionally, 7 agencies are implementing or planning to implement Axon RMS, with rollouts staggered from the Rochester PD, which is already live, through 2028 for several others, including St. Paul and Roseville PDs. This reflects a growing statewide adoption of integrated public safety technology. Financial overview for Axon 10-year bundle. For 2026, there is no budget impact since existing items are already funded in the adopted budget. Axon will lock 2025 pricing for the next 10 years, resulting in negotiated savings of over $3.2 million. The total 10-year bundled contract, including Axon RMS, is just over $5.1 million, offering long-term cost predictability. Now to the cost analysis. The 10-year Axon bundle, including Axon RMS, so we already have a contract for existing Axon technology, so you add RMS into that creates the bundle. Totals $5.1 million, about $1.9 million more than the Axon technology without RMS. While adopting Axon RMS is roughly $945,000, higher than continuing with the current RMS vendor and our current Axon technology, the overall negotiated 10-year savings with Axon still exceeds $3.2 million. While the projected 10-year cost with our current RMS vendor is $960,450, this does not account for future annual contract increases with the current vendor. And I should note that over the past 5 years, we have seen a 10% increase with our current RMS vendor. Staff recommends a 10-year Axon RMS bundle to secure significant long-term savings, simplify vendor management, and stabilize IT and maintenance costs, while providing access to a modern, fully integrated system. This solution enhances efficiency, supports transparency, and community trust, offers a single point of support, and ensures predictable budgeting with Axon's comprehensive ecosystem. This aligns with our commitment to public safety and partnerships with St. Paul and Roseville Police Departments, and is a generational shift in technology for the Maplewood Police Department. Questions?
Couple of questions. I'll start out. I have to say, in just reading the report, I got sticker shock because nowhere in the report does it say that it is a 10-year cost. And so I saw $5 million and wondered, we didn't budget $5 million for next year, but it's over 10 years. So that was good once I got deeper into all of the attachments. Let me ask you this, because now under our current provider, we are, and paired isn't the right terminology, but Axon will connect us with St. Paul and Roseville, but it won't pair us with other people in Ramsey County. Are we losing any kind of operational efficiency because we aren't going to be connected with North St. Paul or Ramsey County or any of the other agencies in Ramsey County? Are we losing anything by going this route?
Madam Mayor, Council, that's a great question. I don't believe we are. Going with Axon and repartnering with the St. Paul Police Department and the Roseville Police Department, which I stated are the two largest neighboring agencies that we share the county with. The benefits of the vast amount of data that those two departments possess and that we can share efficiently through Axon, I believe outweighs our current RMS vendor and having direct access with the other agencies' police records. However, we have a great crime analyst and a great investigations unit, a great records unit, and we already work with agencies that we don't have direct access to their data or their police reports, and we have a great open line of communication with the other Ramsey County agencies that we will be losing that direct access to, and agencies all over the state. So, like I said, I think the benefits of going with the Axon RMS outweigh those concerns.
I have to say the technology that's included in the bundle sounds almost, it's very future-oriented, and it certainly is quite an impressive list, I have to say that much. We have a question from Councilmember Villavicencio.
Thank you. I want to say thank you for putting in the time and the research into looking at a system that's more efficient and effective. One of my pet peeves is government not using technology to the best of its ability and being always behind the times. And I mean, there's a lot of reasons why we can talk about that. But so I just wanted to thank you first and foremost for putting in the time in doing this research, because it is important. A little bit of my concern is kind of putting all our eggs in one basket with Axon, and around that concern is security, data security, and hoping that we will still remain as secure as we are now, or even better. And your thoughts around that, and yeah.
Madam Mayor, council member, thank you. That's also a great question. And as I talk about some of this stuff, I'm going to pull up an extra slide that I created for your reference that may help with this. And as you can see, I have our current RMS provider listed, and underneath there is a cybersecurity concern. And then going with Axon RMS, I've listed they have high-end cloud-based encryption. So we've vetted Axon, their security IT director Folds. He knows much more about this than I do, and ensures me that it is a good and secured encrypted system. Additionally, they are currently cloud-based, which is inherently more secured. And I think I'd mentioned in the presentation that we reserve the privileges on what data we share with other agencies. So our data is our data. It's governed by data practices laws and statutes, and what we can share through those laws and statutes, we have the choice on where we do have the choice. We can choose if we want to share that or not. Welcome.
Councilmember Lee.
Thank you, Mayor. I think in general, working smarter, not harder. That's what I'm getting out of this component of it. So I'm glad there's technology that's going to be able to support the work that you all do. Two questions. Well, first of all, saving financially, I think that makes sense. It's good to know that we're not subject to a 10% increase on a yearly basis. So I think you sharing that with us is important in terms of financial decision. But yes, Mayor, I did have sticker shock too, as you. I was like, whoa, that's a lot of money. But I think over time, it makes sense financially. My question is, given that we are sharing this with St. Paul and Roseville, what other agencies are going to have access to our data? I mean, you touched a little bit on it, but federal access to the data. And then the second component of it is, if another city wants to join to be a part of this component, St. Paul, Roseville, and now Maplewood, do we have a say in telling them that they can't join because data sharing component? I mean, what does that look like?
Madam Mayor, council and council member, thanks. Another great question. Like I stated previously to the council member's previous question, we have the right to share our data in accordance with state statute. So with other agencies, even St. Paul and Roseville, and this is not the intention, but we're going to be on the same platform. We all have to set sharing rights. So if we chose to, we would have the right not to share anything with them. But that is, goes against what we're working for toward an information and intelligence sharing. As far as federal agencies won't have any direct access to this. So to kind of recap that, Maplewood, St. Paul, Roseville, we're all being built out on the same platform, but yet we're still independent of each other, if that makes sense. So we select what we want to share with those agencies. Just like any other data that any city, state, federal law enforcement agency would like access to, they can request that through our records department. And again, a lot of that's governed by state and federal laws, and governs what we can share and cannot share. And then to your last question about other agencies coming into this project, I'm not 100% sure on that as of right now. No one is joining this project, and it's unlikely that any other agencies will at this time. In the future, if other Ramsey County agencies decide to pool together and create an Axon platform, they can do that, and then they can set their sharing preferences to share information with us, and vice versa if we choose to do that.
Madam Mayor, if I could just add a couple comments. So I think what Councilmember Lee was getting at is, I think the contrast is important. So with our current system right now, if there were another agency, everybody in Ramsey County can see our data, minus St. Paul. If there's another agency that was sharing data with the federal government and we didn't want to, we would have no control over stopping that. They could read our data and pass it on. within the time I've been chief, we've had misuse of our data. And unfortunately, with the current system we have now, Central Square, it's all or nothing. So for a year, I had to shut down our data to every agency because of one person violated some things that we weren't okay with. Going forward with the Axon platform, not only can you pick and choose individual agencies, but you can pick and choose individual officers that don't have access, and you can choose what data they see. So if we were sharing with another agency in Ramsey County, they were sharing our data with the federal government, we told them don't do that, and they continue to do it, we could cut them off and not punish everybody for that. So that's things we've been working on for the past 4 years, frustration with us as far as misuse of our personal data with other agencies, and we have no control. We have to shut it off for everybody or allow it for everybody. And so that's some of the benefits of going forward with this system, if that makes sense.
Thank you.
And then to add on to the last part, currently Axon, because of their staff and their numbers, they're not allowing any agency to join that has less than 100 staff members. Even if you do have more than 100, which St. Paul has way more than 100, if they were to try to get in now, I'm told from Axon that they're just a waiting list and they're years out. So I have heard from almost every chief in Ramsey County that are like, we wish we could have got in on this. And they're probably, unfortunately, 4 to 5 years out now. Even if they bonded together and created a group that's over 100, they'd still be locked out just because of manpower and the amount of staff that Axon has to build out these programs for you. So I think we were very fortunate to get in with St. Paul and Roseville because that equaled more than 100, or else we wouldn't even be considered. So there are other agencies. I just imagine that in the amount of time it's going to take, I think other agencies are going to follow suit, and we're going to have the majority of Ramsey County with Axon. It's just going to be a matter of time to get that.
Thank you. Councilmember Cave.
Thank you, Lieutenant Steiner. Great report. Great technology coming. I just, these guys asked all the questions that I had. I just want a couple things. I wanted to know about live translation. Can you give me a nutshell how that works? Is it just go off your body camera?
Sure.
Okay.
Madam Mayor, Council,
Yeah.
and Council Member. It does. So there's a button on the body worn camera. I don't have mine on. I usually do. It's not there. That officer will press, and then they will, on voice command, say the language is Russian.
Yeah.
They will say translate in Russian, and it starts a two-way live real-time translation
Wow.
for 57 different languages.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Mhm.
And are we sure our officers don't want to write reports that they want this to speed up?
Yes,
This is
gonna
going to be, I'm
significantly
sure,
cut
like
down on reporting
amazing.
time. Yes.
Not to do all that desk work. So this is great. And just, the price was something too. So I'm glad we got that. We worked out over 10 years. And that's amazing that they gave us, that's a great contract. Is it also work with, if they come out with anything new, like, I'm just going to say, like new body worn cameras, do we have a foot in to get the new ones? Are they going to want us to upgrade and get those new ones to work with stuff? And
That's a good question, and yes, and that is in the contract. So
Okay.
any new technology
Yeah.
that they come out with that we would have access to in this contract, any
Yeah.
upgraded technology, we will receive that new technology as part of that contract.
oh, that's really good. Yeah. Thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, well, council members, there is a motion. Would someone like to make it?
I motion to approve a 10-year Axon RMS bundle contract.
Second.
Moved by Cave, seconded by Lee, the motion to approve a 10-year Axon RMS bundle contract. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We do that well together.
Congratulations, I can't wait
Yeah.
to see this happening. Chief, can you just fill us in the timeline to build out this platform? What are we looking at? Maybe Mr. Folds is the one to
More
answer.
into it. I have
Okay.
a general sense of what the timeline is, but he'll have better numbers for you.
Folds, it's an IT question, perfect for you.
Mayor and Council, good evening. They have already started some of the communications with Roseville and St. Paul. They've been kind of holding off getting it to us until the meeting tonight. We have an account or a project manager assigned to us from Axon for the implementation. Rough guess is they're looking at a very early 2028 go live, so like a Jan 1, 2028. So about 1.5 to 2 years of building out the system and getting it ready for real-time use. So, and we'll certainly keep the council aware of that process as we move on.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Chief. There you go. All of the administration that are here, thank you very much for all of this work. We really appreciate it, and we are glad to support you in this wonderful new technology. Going to be a lot of training going on, I can tell that, which is pretty wonderful. But thank you. I think this is going to be great for our community. So, council members, we do not have anything else on our agenda tonight, so therefore we are adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone.